Hey y'all, it's y'all favorite cozy girl, Chi the Reality Queen, and I am back again with another episode of Robe Chronicles. So I just want to start off by apologizing. I have been slacking. It has been really hard to get into these videos, but guess what? I'm back and I hope you guys enjoy. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 9, Episode 11. Okay, so this episode starts off with Mia and her kids. They're at this little, like, maybe discovery zone or like bounce play, whatever area. And she's hanging out with them and she's talking about parenting and whatever. And then Stacy gets together with Karen and Giselle, and they're asking Karen about the party she's throwing. She's having a little Love Lagoon party. Karen says she loves throwing these type of parties because they always are fun and kind of like get to the nitty-gritty of relationships and whatever. um then they start talking about Stacy and TJ, and obviously, I feel like this is par for the course for Giselle, but I think that Stacy is really taking everything they say and do in stride. Like, she is not letting them piss her off, but I almost feel like they're talking to her about TJ in hopes of pissing her off. Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all tell me what vibe y'all getting, but I feel like they're kind of trying to piss her off because they're like, "Oh, you need to find out what you really like. You need to explore more." And Stacy's like, "I like TJ." And again, I personally don't care for TJ, and I personally don't think Stacy should be wasting her time with him. But who am I? I don't know Stacy. I mean, they know her, but like still, it's like you're not dating TJ. Let that girl do whatever it is that she wants to do with that man. Um, and they think that, Giselle is like, well, if TJ is not getting it from you, he's getting it from somewhere. And I just think that's Giselle's scorned view of lovers because that's what her man did. He, even though he was getting it from her, he was also getting it from anybody who would answer the call. That's the way it seemed with how many kids he got out there, or so the rumors are. I mean, we only know of three, Giselle's kids, but supposedly he got about 7 or 8. So there's that. Um, I don't know. It just, like I said, it feels like they're trying to nitpick and see if they can kind of upset her, but Stacy's really, really good at not letting them ruffle her feathers. Um, Next, Wendy invites all the girls to this boutique to go shopping, and when they all get there, she invites them out to Panama. Now, this was interesting to me because I realized that Jazzy wasn't at the boutique. And the funny thing is, like, I actually didn't even realize that Jazzy wasn't at the boutique until the next scene when she was at the Love Lagoon. So I wonder why she wasn't at the boutique and why she wasn't invited to Panama. But this is Wendy's group trip, and I'm glad they are finally, you know, going somewhere nice because North Carolina was not it. Um, then Jacqueline was not invited to the party. So Mia's like, oh, well, let me ask Karen if you can come. And she asked Ashley, like, oh, do you think I should invite Karen Jacqueline? And Ashley was like, yeah, that's a great idea or whatever. And she goes to ask Karen. Karen's like, no, I don't want her there. And to me, it's like, she's the owner of the home. If it's in her home, it's in her place, or she's sending out the invites, who she wants there and who she doesn't want there, that's kind of final. You don't get to decide just because Jacqueline's your girl, or Ink can't come and Gordon can't come and whatever else. And I just feel like, again, Mia is going hard. I don't know what deal Jacqueline made with the devil being Mia, to remain a friend of on this show. um, but it's getting weird. But anyways, Karen says no. And you think Mia, with her two brain cells, would be like, okay, cool. But no. I mean, well, that is what she says. So, anyways, and like I said, Wendy announced they're going to Panama, and all the ladies are excited. And Kay was like, I'm not really like, that's not really my thing. I'm into really like big European cities, and those are the type of trips I like to take. Yeah, she's like, Panama isn't really my vibe, and what have you. Um, and then that ends. They go shopping, they look at clothes, whatever. Then we see Kay at home with her brother and her man, fiance, boyfriend. I don't know what Greg is. And it's funny because one, Kay's brother is very handsome, very good genetics in that family, all around 10 over 10s, like very handsome. Not saying they're like the most handsome or most beautiful people, but like that's a very consistent genetic pool. Okay. Very consistently good looking in that genetic pool. So shout out to them. But she's talking and she's like, isn't Panama like an island off of Florida? I mean, yes, but no. You're thinking about Panama City, but like way deep down past in Central America is where Panama is. And eh, I think that's why she said it wasn't her vibe, because maybe she thought they was going to another little like North Carolina, but no. I mean, who doesn't like an island? I mean, some people don't. If you don't like an island, let me know, because I think you're weird and we need to expose you people for who you guys really are. I love an island trip. That's me all day, every day. I love history. So I do like going like her to those European cities, whatever, and kind of seeing not just the culture, but just kind of like the places that people have been for thousands and thousands of years. I think that is really cool. But I also like an island vibe. I want to lay down. I want to drink Mai Tais. I want to relax. And I feel like in those big European cities that she's talking about, there's no relaxing. No relaxing. Or if y'all know a place that we can go relax in those big European cities, also leave those in the comments, because I like to travel and I will go. But right now, those cities just seem like a lot of walking, a lot of chores, a lot of getting up at 6 a.m. to go do something. And I like it, but I also want to rest when I go on vacation. Um, then while Kay is talking with her man, she's all like, "Oh, we're going. It's like a big liberation trip." Um, what she say? They're celebrating 3 divorces and this and that. Greg was like, 3 divorces? Like, wait a minute. He was like, is it because of the show? And it's funny because Kay is like, Greg's not really comfortable being on television and this and that and whoop whoop whoop. And I'm just kind of like, but low key, with the exception of Stacy, okay, I'm not saying these people wouldn't have gotten divorced anyway, but I do think that the show sped up the process. I genuinely believe going on reality TV, if you're in a relationship, it messes it up, because there's such like scrutiny on you and your life and your relationship that I think that if you're not solid, it's going to break apart. Um so then we see Stacy, she meets with her aunt, so sweet, but her aunt is her dad's youngest sister, so I guess she's like super close in age with Stacy, so she's like we grew up as sisters. She's asking about the divorce. She's asking if she's seeing anybody, which is kind of weird, because it's like, if she's so close, how does she not know that you've been dating TJ for a year or friends with him or whatever the heck you and TJ are over here pretending to do? Sometimes, reality TV like exposes itself, right? You're like, oh, she's so close, we're so close. We talk all the time, whatever. Maybe they don't see each other, but she's just finding out, meaning that either she knew and y'all are just trying to have this conversation on camera, or y'all not really that close and you just trying to introduce a family member, right? Because I don't think we've seen anyone from Stacy's side except for Arabella and the nanny. Um, so who knows? But I do think, it's good to see more of Stacy, because I do feel like we have just seen her and then TJ. And I feel like we're giving TJ too much time. I feel like he's too integral to her story. And like I said, I just don't care for him anymore. And now when people keep calling him handsome, I'm like, he's not. Now, this is just me being a hater because he really might still be handsome, but I just feel like so annoyed by him that I'm just like, you're not even handsome. But anyway, um, but she does tell her aunt that she's not sleeping with TJ. And her aunt's like, oh, that's good. Like, God, that's what he wants and blah, blah, blah. So it's nice to see someone who is kind of like on her side with that. And I don't know if they're on her side or they're on TJ's side because TJ's really the one that's pushing for it. I think Stacy would have slept with him if he wanted to sleep with her. I think she's fine with how they are, but I think she probably would sleep with him if she could. Um, then Giselle meets up with Namsi, Namze, Nam, whatever. They go on a date. Um, it's funny because I want to say that Giselle doesn't like this man for real, but he kind of matches the look of what I think Giselle likes in men, even though it might not be my personal preference. I think this is Giselle's personal preference. And guess what? Good for you, girl. I'm happy for you. Now I don't know if it's really something serious because he is like 12 years younger than her or 14 or something, but you know, you make it work how you make it work. But they go on a date and he's just so super flirty and just like, you know, trying to make sure he looks good. And it's interesting because Giselle's like, oh, I like people that are a little mean. Like, I need you to be tough or whatever. And that's kind of funny to me because I'm like, do you really want somebody that's a little mean? Because mean men cheat. Mean men have multiple children on you. Mean men, like, girl, no. She's like, he hasn't been to jail, this, that, and then, they talking to her in the little confessional, and they were like, Jamal went to jail? And she was like, well, he was arrested multiple times for like fighting for the people. And I'm like, okay. But Jamal, I mean, he might be a nice person overall, but like, do you really want a mean man like that? I mean, Giselle is mean, so she probably needs someone who's going to check her. And I'm not sure if that guy is that guy, but I also think that's because of his age. He just seems too young. And then I think he's just excited to be out with her. And I'm not saying it's because of her status on this show, because he probably doesn't watch it. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. Now I'm saying if you're out there or if somebody knows him, let me know if he watches the show. Um, but I think it's because, cameras are on him. He gets to be on TV. So I think he's enduring. But I mean, Giselle is beautiful. So I don't think it's like, oh, I don't want to date this beautiful woman. I think it's just like, I got to make myself look away on camera. Um, but anyways, they go to it's the next day, the date ends. I think they went salsa dancing. Giselle admits she has no rhythm, thankfully. Um, but yeah, they go, it's the next day, it's the day of the Love Lagoon party. Um, Karen really was going above and beyond because why do you have mermaids at this party? Like, what is going on? But she had live play mermaids to swim around her pool. Um, and going to the party, Giselle rides with Ashley and her boo and Namse. So the day of the party, Ashley rides with Giselle and her boo, and Ashley's boo is the one that drives them over there. And I'm not saying he's not cute. I'm not saying that, but he just looks very young. Like he said he's 30 or 31 and Ashley's 37. So it's not like a huge gap, but he just looks like 25. Like I feel like he's younger than the age that he's given. And I don't know if it's the hair that contributes to that young look, but I don't know. I'm just like, well, Ashley seems to like him. Cool. Um, but he drove them to the party, which I thought was really sweet of him. Or maybe he just wanted his car on the camera, or maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what he wanted? Um, but yeah, everybody gets to the party. They play a game called Turn Up the Heat, in which they ask like little questions about the relationship. And the very first question that Karen pulls out was, do you think your partner cheats? Obviously, Karen says no. And obviously, Ray also says no. But I would like to point out that if you and your spouse have an agreement on who the other can have sex with, it technically isn't considered cheating, because they try to do the playback of the blue eyes this, blue eyes that, blue eye. And I have said for a long time that I think Ray is very well aware of what Karen does, and Karen is very well aware of what Ray does. And with both of them consenting and being knowledgeable on the topic, it's not cheating. And, Mia pretty much says that, because when they talk about Gordon, she's like, "Oh, I don't think Gordon has ever cheated." And then they were like, "Oh, really? I thought you were doing threesomes." And then she's like, "No, it's consenting. I agreed. I told him he could do that," which I agree with. If you're with somebody and y'all all agree on whatever the situation is, boom. But see, this question is kind of interesting because I think everybody was just going to lie, right? I mean, Giselle just met Namse yesterday, so she has no answer. Ashley just met her boo. Wendy and Eddie are not going to tell the truth. Uh, None of them are going to tell the truth. So that's why I was incredibly surprised when Jazzy was like, "Yeah, no, I think he cheats," about her man Darius. I was like, I mean, yes, we all know that. We all believe that. We all think that. There is still question about how y'all got together and them two kids he has. But, I thought she was just going to lie. So I do appreciate her honesty, Jazzy girl. Thank you for that. Um, it got really weird when Stacy and TJ were answering, because somebody was like, "Well, how could he cheat when y'all are just friends? Like, y'all aren't anything." And he was like, "I agree. That's true. Blah, blah, blah." And then it came up, the conversation that Stacy had with um, Giselle and Karen, about how they think that he got his own thing going on and this and that and whoop whoop. And he never actually answered if he did or he didn't, I don't think. Um, but I do think that it was weird for Stacy, because I think she was looking to be validated a little bit in that moment, and TJ was doing none of that. He was like, "Girl, I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to give you nothing, really." And it was pretty sad to watch as just a viewer. Um and but I do appreciate Giselle being like, "This is what we told her. She needs to do this. This is that," and Karen agreed and whatever. And I think that TJ, when faced with these questions, he do not be standing 10 toes behind Stacy, and I don't like that. I think that's why I don't like him, because I feel like Stacy is like, "Oh, I really like him. We love each other. We're this, we're that, whoop, 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 whoop." But as soon as he gets questioned or anything, he be folding. He don't never be like, "I like you. I want to be with you, girl. You're everything to me," or "I want you to be everything to me," or "When this divorce goes through, I want us to like really come together." He do not be standing for her like that. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Anyways, the next question they ask is about sex, and they're like, "Who's the dominant, who's the submissive, whatever." And every single person that spoke said they was the dominant. Like, I'm like, this is why these games don't really work. Because when you get to lying, you get to lying. Um, the only people that gave honest answers was Ashley was like, when she's with women, she's dominant. When she's with men, she's submissive. Um, I think Wendy says she's submissive because Eddie's really dominant. Um, I think Ray was so cute. He was like, when I first met Karen, she was tearing that ass up. She was very dominant. It was so cute. I think anytime Ray speaks, he's cute. He's like 100 years old, and it's just the sweetest thing ever. Um, but you know what? He spent that whole episode flirting with them little mermaids, though. He was really trying to be a little key with the little mermaids. I was like, okay, Ray, I see you. Just because you 80 don't mean your eyes don't work. I am on your side. Okay. Um, but that was just funny to me. And I thought it was cute. I mean, the games were cute. It's, if you're solid, those games won't shake nothing up. It's only when you're not solid, do those questions, those games, those whatever, it can get it can get to be a problem. So yeah, so then they're still playing, and all of a sudden a dog, I guess, like pops up in Karen's front yard or backyard. I don't know exactly where it is in relation to where they were. And they were like, "Do you have a dog?" She's like, "No, I don't have a dog." And all of a sudden, here comes Jacqueline walking up with 8 heart pink balloons. They're Mylar balloons, by the way. And she walks up and she's like, "Oh, um," and everybody's like, "What is she doing here?" Like, what's going on? And that's pretty much how the episode ended. And I just feel like Jacqueline's really doing everything she can to be relevant in this season. And as a friend of, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Just let it go, girl. You're just a friend of. Do small here, show up here, laugh, key, boom. But trying to have your own drama as a friend of is too much. That's why Sharice is not here, because Sharice was trying to have her own drama as a friend of. Now, Sharice is a full time drama. Yes, we love it. As a friend of, girl, just show up and go home. And that's how I feel about you, Jacqueline. Show up and go on. Maybe gossip with your friend, have a little tea, whatever, but just is you're doing too much. I mean, this season, like I said, it's been a little slow. I don't think it's bad. I kind of like how it's going. I like the new women. I like the energy, but I will say that it seems a bit slow. And I think they need a little bit more to happen. But, you guys give me your thoughts. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Tell me what you're thinking. We're getting to the halfway point of this season, or I think we reached it in the last episode. So, yeah, just let me know what you guys think and how you guys are enjoying Real Housewives of Potomac. See you guys next time. Bye.